my name is Nate Nadal. I'm 22 years old and I love to fly fish. I grew up in Tulsa, Oklahoma before moving to Idaho 3 years ago. I've been fly fishing since I was little. It's something I've grown up my whole life doing. I think what I like most about fly fishing compared to cast fishing is the connection that it allows me to feel, both with the fish themselves and with like nature and my surroundings. So some of the stuff that I would use when I fly fish are obviously a rod and a reel. During like the spring and fall months, you use waders, which are basically just rubber pants with neoprene socks to keep you dry, along with a pair of wading boots, which are exactly what they sound like, boots with a felt or rubber sole on them. So when I'm not wearing waders or like wading boots, a lot of times I'll just wear like shorts and sandals and a chest pack, which is basically just like a front-facing backpack with some really like simple basic equipment in it. Flies, snacks especially, and then a net as well is something else I'd bring along. So the design of flies in fly fishing is kind of hit or miss. In some places it's absolutely like critical that you match the hatch, that the bugs that are flying around in the air that are in the water exactly resemble the flies you're fishing with.
So what I'll do is I'll take a big foam-bodied grasshopper and I'll tie it up. And I'll just clip it to the guide.
But you also find a lot of places where it's not very important, that as long as your fly looks buggy and that it sits on the water appropriately and finds the fish, then you won't have any problems. The conditions that I think are best to fly fish in are days when it's relatively overcast. It's still pretty warm, and days when it's not super windy. Even though living in Idaho, that's kind of few and far between, that's asking for a lot. But on days when you can find that, those are the days to be on the water. My dream place to go fly fishing is in New Zealand. In New Zealand, they have a strain of brown trout that are notorious for growing really large, really quickly. And they're not particularly pressured, so people don't fish for them very often. And so you find lots of very large, very aggressive, very angry fish that are ready to feed at really any given opportunity. So my favorite fish that I've ever caught didn't really break any records. It wasn't necessarily a big fish by any means, but it was the first brook trout I had ever caught that was a wild fish. It may have been 6 inches long, but it was just a milestone achievement of a fish to find something that I can't catch back home. I'm gonna be able to find it here. So growing up my entire life, it's always been catch and release. The motto, like, let them go and let them grow, has kind of grown itself into my life.